On to the next topic. He's directed Hereditary, Midsummer, and most recently Beau is Afraid. Horror director Ari Aster has announced his new film. It's called Eddington. It is a horror film with dark humor in it.
Horror.
Hey, they look the same. The cast here is quite stacked. Like, there's no denying it. We've got Joaquin Phoenix, Emma Stone, Austin Butler, Pedro Pascal, and that's just some of them. There's a whole lot more. I just can't list them all here because we'll be here all day. So the concept for this is it's a contemporary western following a New Mexico sheriff with high aspirations. That's it. That's all we know about it. That pretty much sentence. It's obviously the studio's A24, like majority or all of Ari Aster's films. So James, could you get on board with Eddington?
100%, man. I mean, the cast alone: Joaquin Phoenix, Emma Stone, Austin Butler, Pedro Pascal. I love every single one of them, but for very different reasons. And I'm really curious to see how this kind of cast would gel together and how they would work. I mean, Emma Stone is just off the back of an Oscar win, so anything she's in, I'm completely excited for. As for Ari Aster himself, I like him a lot as a director, but there's somewhat of a disconnect between what the films he makes and, like, I guess my own personal preferences. What he usually makes and what I've seen from him is stuff that I really appreciate, and it's stuff that I really appreciate, and you can see the kind of craftsmanship behind it. But none of his films have come, or I've never watched them and been like, I love that movie. It's always there's always been that little bit of a disconnect there between his style and my own preferences. So we'll see what he does, but he does seem to be sticking with a style that is he's sticking with the same style, the same genre. It always seems like the same thing with this guy, just under different kind of concepts. But I mean, dark humor and horror mixing together, I'm on board for that. Sounds like something a little bit different. I could get behind it. And it's a contemporary Western film, and I'm on board for it, man. I'm excited for it. I just don't know the level of excitement I can get, because there's always that kind of hesitation I have with Ari Aster's films where it's like, I know it's going to be good, but am I going to love it? That's always the question that I have.
Yeah, he makes really good films, but it's an acquired taste. Like me with May December, you can appreciate the filmmaking, but it's just not for you.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, and there's nothing wrong, I think, with saying or admitting that you can appreciate a film a lot, but not like it that much. It's a perfectly fine thing to do, and it's probably the most objective way to say you don't like a movie that's well made and everyone else is loving. It's just sometimes the movie just isn't for you in terms of personal preferences, and Ari Aster usually crosses that line for me. Because I haven't seen Beau is Afraid, but I have seen Midsummer, and I couldn't really come out of the movie saying I loved it. It looked good, it kept me hooked, but it's not a movie that lingers with me. Hereditary is the same. I really liked it, but I'm still waiting for that Aster movie that's gonna really stick with me, because he's got it in him for sure. He's a good filmmaker.
Yeah, so the only film I've seen of him is Midsummer. And that was when I was first being introduced to these sort of indie, weird sort of films. So when I first watched that,
because we were at the film festival for that one, eh?
We were at ASB Theatre, or whatever it's called now, at the Waterfront.
Waterfront,
Yeah, but when I watched it, I came out of it and I was like, I know it's a good film. I just know it, but I hate it.
Yeah.
I know Florence Pugh is good enough. The cinematography is probably the best thing about that entire film. It is absolutely fantastic. But it was just too out the gate for me that I didn't like. I haven't seen Hereditary. It is on my list, and I do want to see it quite a lot.
That's good.
I do know that Beau is Afraid is not a horror. I don't know what genre it is, so he has sort of taken a break last year from it,
Yeah.
so he's clearly going back to his roots. But pretty much like you said, you can't get excited, or you can't not get excited over this cast. That this cast is essentially A-list right there. Austin Butler's up and coming, you know. He was in Dune, and by far he stole the show in Dune. Like, he was a fantastic performance. Pedro Pascal, he's on the rise. Emma Stone just won another Oscar. She is just in her prime, and Joaquin Phoenix is just safe as money, you know. You just know you're going to get a good performance from him.
Yeah, 100%.
And the fact that it's set in a Western, where we haven't seen, or Westerns are like basically
Rare.
extinct nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to, I feel this film will breathe in a new life to that genre. Or, like, it's going to put the showcase back on Westerns, and everyone will fall in love with it. I'm sure as more details come out, and more promotional images, and potentially a trailer, or even a release date, we can start getting better thoughts and seeing where this film is going to head towards. But until then, I think this is just one to keep an eye on for now.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
definitely
for
get
sure.
excited. Definitely get excited over that cast. Like,
Is there any details on release date or any indication?
no, not from what I could see. I just know that it's his next one.
I would imagine this is a next year movie, just based on the way how independent
works.
films kind of come. Yeah, and the way he kind of works. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say.
especially considering he's got the title, cast, and plot. Like, you'd feel it'd be fairly soon, 2025 at the latest.
And shorter shoots, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
if that gets into 2025, man, the year keeps getting better and better.
It's just trying to replace the Batman at this point.
Not doing a good job. Come on, we need something better than that.
No. Yes, it does. But that